Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast, back in our West Loop studios in Chicago. We made it. Well, at least Carmen and I did.
Sort of.
Yeah, Carmen and I and Lawrence were here. Bragg's never made it home.
I'm about 70%.
You know, I'd say that I miss him, but I don't want to lie to you to start the new week here.
This has been a nice, calm, peaceful Monday morning.
I mean, we did have a meeting, and I instantly went at him, and I probably do miss him, but don't want to admit it. But he'll be on Brags After Dark tonight with Corey Wooten, and that's sure to entertain the masses.
I think I speak for everyone that when Jenny showed up at the airport to pick up Greg late on Friday night, I'm sure Greg was the happiest to see her.
Oh.
The rest of us were very happy to see her, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was damn happy to get away from us, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, my favorite...
Especially me.
My favorite moment... I'm right there. I'm right there with you. When I went back to there were 6 people on our plane. And
seriously.
And I'm walking back, and...
yeah, but can we talk about... Hoge got to sit next to a Packers fan.
Yeah, I got...
Mr. Upgrade, but... he gets to sit next to someone.
We're going to get into that at some point in the show. Okay. But I walked back mid-flight, and there was Gregory P. Allen Bragg sprawled out against 3 seats, leg out in the aisle, just going for it. And I thought about doing something inappropriate like dumping water on him, but I said, you know what, Carm, you're not 12 anymore. Don't do that. Just let Gregory sleep, and I did. And then I an hour later, as those of us in the middle age here, we got to pee again. I came back and Braggs was up and he was watching some movie.
How tempted do you think that the flight attendants were to just ram that card right through his leg?
I would have.
They would.
Stay out of the aisle.
American Airlines love Braggs.
All right, well, welcome into the show. We are back. We're going to have a fun one today. The Chiefs, of course, won the Super Bowl, unanimously picked by the CHGO Bears team, which had me very nervous. And quite frankly, I was nervous the whole game because it seemed like the 49ers should have won that game basically the entire time. Yeah. But they kept making mistake after mistake, and you can't do that against the best quarterback in the league. Patrick Mahomes got it done. So we got some Super Bowl takeaways here that we're going to get to off the top. We also have a ton of we're going to have some fun awards we're going to hand out from our week in Las Vegas. We got some good ones. We're going to have some fun with it, as we always do here on the show. But I think you're going to enjoy that segment very, very much. Whether you followed our coverage last week or you didn't, it'll be a good way to recap, too.
If you didn't, I'm very disappointed in you. Do better. We tried as hard as we possibly could to entertain you, and I thought we did at least a 8 out of 10 job.
8 out of 10.
Maybe 9.
Maybe 9.
9.9. I don't know. I loved the week. It's my favorite week of the year. It's a ton of work, and I say that to not complain in the least because I love it. But it's a grinder. It's a grinder.
It's a grinder. It's exhausting, but we love it.
We could tell you didn't want to leave. We'll probably get to that later as well.
I didn't. I kept on talking to Sam Acho until you just stopped the interview.
If we hadn't pulled you out of that interview, you'd still be sitting there talking to Sam Acho.
I love Sam Acho, and you're going to hear from Sam Acho later in the week because we taped it after the whole week was over.
We do have more content to bring you this week. That's the crazy part. We got stuff that didn't even air and some really good interviews, so you'll hear that. You're not going to hear any today. We're going to recap Super Bowl, recap the week a little bit too. Do want to say you guys helped us reach our little challenge we had in the middle of the week of getting to 48,000 YouTube subscribers.
We did? Yeah, look at us.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that. At one point I mentioned 50, so maybe we make that maybe we can get there by the end of the Combine. That would be great. So thank you very much for everybody, for all the support. I do have a new Bears Things newsletter out this morning to the CHGO Diehards. Some thoughts on the week, thoughts on the Super Bowl, a couple newsy items in there as well. So our CHGO Diehards have access to that. Please become a Diehard. And speaking of that, Carm.
Yep, we got our new ones this fine Monday after the Super Bowl, just leaning in as we get into the Bears being the biggest story of the NFL now, which the Bears put out on Twitter. Good job, Bears. Welcome it to the Diehard family. And by the way, when you become a Diehard, your life just gets better. Go to ALLCITY.com. Discount on our merch. Access to our Discord. Access to all of our takeover parties for less money. The Hoge newsletter. We try to give you the value 100 times back, and it's a great way to support us if you're enjoying the show. Become a diehard, allchgo.com. Aaron, welcome in AA. Straight A's. Don't compare him to Hernandez and or Rodgers. A-plus victory. Had to throw Hernandez out of nowhere. Figure you'd like that one. Aaron, you are the man. You are a diehard. Tom, Big T. Not your ordinary Tom Hoge. This guy's Brady-esque. He's got presence in the paint like Tolbert. Great at partnering and becoming iconic. That's right. I'm thinking Tom and Jerry, not Reinsdorf. You're the man, Tom. How about our guy, Jeremy? Big time from the point. Does like to party a little bit. Needs to calm it down, but we love you, Jeremy. Big with the women, too. Jeremy. And then Steve.
Jeremy or Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Okay.
You were going Jeremy there.
I went Jeremy. Is it not?
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
At one point, I thought you said Germany.
All right, Jeremy.
I don't know. Last week you called someone sushi.
Jeremy. I don't know. If your mom needs to call me to or friends or whatever, if I'm getting it wrong, Jeremy. Either way, I love you. Thank you for being diehard. So what about our guy Steve? I know I'm getting that one right. This guy wins big games when you least expect it. Game 163, you want him on the mound. He's the opposite of trash. He's straight excellence. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking Steve Trash.
Steve Trash. I got that reference.
Yeah. My guy Steve.
I was at that
Steve
game.
Traxel, the slowest pitcher in.
That's right. Hey,
history.
That's a good way of putting it. Steve's on his own pace. Appreciate you, Steve. You came in when you wanted to. You're a diehard now. And Kendrick. K-Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. K-Love. Can take you in the paint. Can knock it down from three. All love all the time. Smooth as can be. My guy, Kendrick. Our new diehards.
All right. You done?
Yeah.
We welcome our diehards. Thank you so much for the support.
Last week's sushi.
You called someone sushi.
I did because I was told their name was sushi.
Yeah, that actually wasn't your fault.
Thank you.
It was not your fault, but it was funny.
It was all. Put it on head of content. When head of content gets something wrong, it's one time in a zillion years, and that was on Kaduk.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the game a little bit before we have some fun with some things that happened last week. Matt Nagy chiming in. Remember when I won another Super Bowl yesterday? That's right. Nagy 2 for 2 on Super Bowls since he left the Bears.
I want to know, did you know when overtime started and the 49ers took the ball that they were absolutely out of their mind? Were you having that thought?
I am going to be the guy defending.
You're going to defend
Shanahan for this.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm fascinated.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah,
Why would you give Patrick Mahomes the football?
Because
you get the ball anyways.
Because there is a 10% chance that you stop him at that point in the game. Obviously, those percentages were up way higher earlier when the Niners were looking like they were going to win.
You get the ball though,
and
doesn't
then
matter.
And then you know what you need, man.
Yeah,
you got to know what you need.
I just don't want to give Patrick Mahomes the ball to take the lead when you can kick a field goal and then get a stop. I don't know.
Right, you get a stop and then kick a field goal.
Don't you want to know in life what you have to have, what you need, all the things? Isn't that an advantage? I can't look. I'm not out here completely killing the guy because they're looking at it like, well, the way, I mean, I pulled a quote from Shanahan, but in essence, he's talking about we wanted it third. So he's playing it like they're going to be tied after the first two.
I mean, I get his thinking.
But dude, you've got to figure that the Chiefs are scoring, but there is a chance that they're not getting at least a touchdown. So, but you have to know that they did. So at 4th and 4, when they said they had absolutely no thought about going for it down by the goal line, well, you didn't because you didn't know that you needed it. But even worse than that here, you can't defend him that the Chiefs talked about it, that we went over if we get to overtime what we're doing all week long. Meanwhile, the Niners are in their locker room saying that we didn't even know what the rules were.
Yeah,
that's indefensible. That is and maybe it's like I'm the coach and I'm gonna do what I got to do. But that's point Andy Reid loss Kyle Shanahan all day long.
I mean, I'll give the chat's talking about how the Niners were their defense was just on the field prior to overtime. So I understand that, giving them a break. That's fine.
Yeah, and I also felt like the Chiefs were gassed defensively. Like they were, and like Romo was talking about that, and I just
wait. The Chiefs
defense was gassed, and they had a great possession. The problem is they just didn't score a touchdown at the end of it. They had a 7-minute possession there, where they had the Chiefs completely on their heels the entire time. They just they failed to get the ball. I understand the logic with both teams are guaranteed a possession no matter what, which is different. Because it's
right.
It's
rules have changed.
Yeah.
They changed because the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes lost to Brady without getting the football. I mean, all these things came full circle here.
Yeah.
They were ready. They were much more prepared for that scenario than San Francisco, kind of amazingly. I actually don't think it's rocket science here. You're going up against Patrick Mahomes, man. When they talk about like, well, the analytics and no. That's cool when you have regular quarterback, but there are no analytics for Patrick Mahomes in that moment. You got to figure that you're not stopping him. This is already arguably the GOAT. I mean, you can't look at this like it's a normal situation. I got to know if he got in, which I think he's going to get in. We're probably going to have to score a touchdown. We might even want to consider going for 2. Which was amazing that the Chiefs were going to do that if it went the other way, which is exactly what I was hoping for because I was betting it during the game, and I had the Niners plus 2.5, and I had the Chiefs plus 2.5. So I needed 2 or under to hit, and the only way I was getting it at that point was if it went to overtime and somebody scored and either missed an extra point I was there to have it on both sides, and it just didn't happen.
Well, let me bring this into the equation. Because I haven't given this a terrible amount of thought really until right now. But I do think that if you're the team possessing the ball first, with time not being a factor, because remember, the time did matter at the end. The clock runs.
No. I think the rules are on the first.
That's the other thing. The clock should not have been on.
On the first possession in overtime, they get their possession.
Yeah. No matter what.
No matter what. That's what they said.
So that's why there was no urgency on the last play.
Exactly.
They were going to go to the other end of the field to win it on the next play if they had to.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here I am not even knowing the rules. That's crazy.
I didn't know.
What's the point of the clock then?
I don't think there is one.
The point of the clock.
Because of what I was about to argue there is some advantage to possess the ball first just from a clock management standpoint.
No.
That's wild. Okay, I didn't know that part.
I wasn't sure of it either, but that's what they said on the broadcast. So assuming the broadcast is...
And that's what they were saying.
Then what the hell is the point of the clock?
The point of the clock is if they both go through their possessions, then
the clock matters.
Then the clock matters,
but
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't.
I don't really know what the point of it. I don't know what the clock does, actually.
It doesn't because someone's got to score. So we're not going to a tie.
But that's why there was no urgency.
All right.
Because they get their possession.
That makes more sense because even like in that last play, I'm like, we're just letting this clock run down. Like, what happens if you don't score here? You're just calling timeout and kicking a field goal. All right, that changes things a little bit because I still think being down though limits your play calling a little bit and creates a little bit more of a situation where you have to press even just mentally. I'd rather have the lead and be up by 7 instead of down. Now, again, though, the problem is they didn't score a touchdown. They kicked the field goal. Look, okay, I changed my mind. Kyle Shanahan's an idiot. I mean, they should fire him.
It's a rough run for him.
And the Bears hire him the next.
And then the Bears should hire him tomorrow.
You were the OC up 28-3.
He's look. I feel for Kyle Shanahan. This guy has had 3 horrible Super Bowl losses now in. What has it been, 8 years?
Sure.
I mean, the Falcons, 28-3 ordeal. He gets the 49ers job the next day. He already had it at that point. And then has now lost 2 Super Bowls in which they had 10-point lead. Again, they had a 10-point lead.
Blew the 10-point lead. Double time.
That's rough.
Listen, I give him credit because I like people who have perspective in life. And he's asked about it, and he said, quote, "We're hurting right now, but it doesn't take away from how proud of our guys I am. I'm really proud of them today. As part of sports, as part of football, as part of life, I'm glad we put ourselves out there. I love our team. We'll recover, and we'll be back next year strong." Like, I appreciate that attitude from him. It is about putting yourself out there in life, not to get too deep Carmy here on a Monday after the Super Bowl. But win or lose, process. You put yourself out there, dude. I love that. Take the ball. Don't give them the football, dude. Prepare your team for the moment. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And amazing to be you got your players in the locker room talking about that they learned the rules of overtime when it was on the screen in the stadium.
That's not good,
dude.
And by the way, that's the stuff that from all accounts that I've been able to gather, Matt Eberflus is really good with that stuff. The time they take to go through stuff like that. Supposedly, at least from what I've heard, I've never asked somebody specifically, do you know the playoff overtime rules? I'm assuming they don't because they've never been to the playoffs. But, if they got there, I do think that would be something that the Bears would be on top of. Can we get to that super chat about Travis Kelce and
I want to talk about that too.
Andy Reid? And then we should keep this moving because there's a lot of little tiny stuff we want to get to here, including Patrick Mahomes. But Brandon Helfer jumping in here, $10 super chat. Am I the only one who lost all respect for Kelce yesterday? Physically assaulting a 65-year-old man, literally just walking and standing still on run plays. His post-game antics, pathetic.
I mean, I didn't like the Viva Las Vegas. I'll give him that.
The yelling in the microphone?
Yeah, that was
even
not
Jim
great.
Nance was enjoying it.
They cut from that to Taylor, and she had the Job from Arrested Development.
Yeah.
I've made a terrible mistake.
I have to say, I've been trying really hard not to read Taylor Swift's body language, but that moment, I kind of felt like internally in her head she was going, "Please stop talking."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you and I deal with Greg on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're just inside, we're screaming.
Greg is Kelce. Kelce is Greg. I shout out to Brandon for knowing that Reid's given the right age. Reid is actually 65 exactly. For what that's worth, I'm about to have a coughing fit here, so I'm full terrified. I don't know what I'm going to do here.
Now, the standing still on run plays, I didn't notice that, but there was an incomplete pass in the end zone where Mahomes went to the right and threw it to some other receiver, but Kelce was his route he ran. I feel like he got bumped out of the back of the end zone and then he just stopped.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
the interesting thing about I didn't notice him standing there on run plays, but him getting mad at Andy Reid was about him not being in on a run play.
Yeah,
Right?
I hated that. I don't understand why you'd ever take that guy off the field.
Yeah, I agree in that. So I understand where he was coming from. Now, full context here. The reports coming out pregame was that Kelce gave an incredible speech Saturday night. We know he's a maniac. Who was it this week that was talking about how never been around a player that flips a switch like he does when the game starts?
That's interesting.
Like he goes from, and we hear this about a lot of players, especially offensive linemen. Like I was thinking about Cody Whitehair, could not have been more of a, maybe the calmest offensive lineman I've ever met in my entire life. Quiet, and then, earlier in his career, then could flip it on and be really good. On the the job requires you to be a maniac on the field, especially when you're run blocking.
Touching both poles.
So, look, I am certainly not going to disagree with Brandon's super chat here. You took it too far. Please don't knock over your 65-year-old head coach. Settle down a little bit. But this is also what makes Travis Kelce great, is this enthusiasm and, craziness that he carries out on the football field that energizes his entire football team. So I do I didn't see what Andy Reid had to say about this postgame. I'm assuming
I got it.
Okay, I'm assuming he defended him.
Yeah, he was on ESPN with Boomer and Booger.
I'll read you the quote. He caught me off balance. I wasn't watching. It was a cheap shot, but it's all right. He did good. He was really coming over to tell me, put me in, I'll score. That is really what it was. Well, I love that. I mean, it's not the first time, so listen, I appreciate it. Brandon, I'm with you, dude. Don't assault 65-year-olds, even on the sideline in the middle of an NFL football game. But what I took out of it is this is why Andy Reid is great.
Yes.
Like, he didn't...
It's by the way, it's the whole Chiefs operation is great.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you got different personalities, man. Football players are lunatics. Football fans, for that matter, are lunatics. Like, you are talking about a different mentality, period. And part of the reason why Andy is great at his gig. Now, he's not just the offensive genius. Guys like him, man, and they're comfortable with him, and he's not going to get lost in that moment and that could have ruined the day.
But he lets his players voice themselves, and then he's also not afraid to tell them, no, you're wrong. Shut up.
Right.
Like, they have that relationship, and I think that's healthy, and also it helps when you win.
Berman also gave Andy Reid a In-N-Out cheeseburger after the interview on set. And I was very jealous since we didn't make it there.
Wow.
That's on you, man. We walked out of there, and the In-N-Out was right there, and I said, let's go to In-N-Out.
Wait, I didn't think you were serious.
I wasn't serious.
No, I didn't think you
We
were
were
serious.
literally standing next to the
No,
restaurant.
I know. Yeah, I know. It was, yeah.
I said, you want to go to In-N-Out and then get on the bus? You're like, So that's on you.
Wow.
But I was fine with but you know, it was there.
Brendan Henderson, $10 super chat. If Kyle Shanahan had a Travis Kelce on the sideline, maybe Kyle wouldn't have slept at the wheel. LOL. Yeah, it's interesting. All right. What about Mahomes before we move on?
So let me just say this. Congratulations to Patrick Mahomes. I don't think anybody's ever played quarterback the way Patrick Mahomes plays quarterback. No one's had the success this early in his career factually. 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, never done worse than going to the AFC Championship game in his time in the NFL.
It's unbelievable.
It's all of it is unbelievable. But, and this is pointing the thumb, I just hate rooting against greatness, and I find myself doing it. When the game was over yesterday, I got a lot of Chiefs fans that I'm good friends with. Nick Wright's a good friend of mine. Throw out big names. Carrington Harrison. I worked in Kansas City. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. I got all these. I got dudes that I lived that put me up and lived with. Eric Johnson, my guy EJJ. All these people that I'm friends with. I didn't text my realtor who's made me money. All the things. I didn't text any of them congratulations because I was jealous, and I hate it. But I did not enjoy the Chiefs winning. I wanted them to lose. I felt sick afterwards. All of it. And I'm like, this sucks. I hate rooting against GOATs, greatness, the whole thing. I've rooted against Kobe. I've rooted against LeBron. I'm rooting against Mahomes. And a part of this is all like Jordan based for me. Some of it, like Mahomes is like, that's at least the NBA guys are. But I don't have any great ending to this little car moment in time, but it just sucks rooting against phenomenal players. I wish I could enjoy it more.
You know what's crazy? I found myself in the complete opposite situation.
See, I don't know how you people do it.
Well, I know how I did it. I took the Chiefs money line.
Well,
that's one way.
That helps too. And keeping the theme of my week in Vegas, didn't win a single bet last night. And multiple parlays on both sides.
Yeah, I missed that.
If either Pacheco or Rashid Rice had caught that last touchdown, I would have been golden, but instead it went to McCole Hardman. Get the hell out of here, McCole Hardman.
I did miss a Prize Picks 4-leg parlay by 1.5 rushing yards from Brock Purdy.
You didn't. So neither of you felt sick after the game. You didn't.
No, I found myself. I didn't know who I would be physically rooting for. It was one of those games where same thing happened with Michigan, Washington in the national championship game. I didn't know. I didn't really know who I'd be rooting for, and then the game started, and I'm like, I kind of want the Big Ten team to win. And
they're both Big Ten teams.
Now they're both Big Ten teams, yeah. But so the game gets going last night, and I'm like, I'm appreciating this Chiefs' greatness. Now they borderline crossed over, and I get it, into the hateable dynasty this year. And at some point, that's inevitable. It always happens. It always happens with the dynasty. But I thought that was partially due to the dumb reason, which is people hating on Taylor Swift for whatever reason. The one thing that I thought Patrick Mahomes did this year that was extremely annoying was after the Bills game when he was complaining about the refs. Like he came off as so entitled. It was like the most LeBron moment ever in the NFL. And I thought that was the only time this year I was genuinely annoyed with the Chiefs and was like, well, maybe I'm against this team now. But then, no, last night I found myself, appreciating Dave Tobe's special teams. Huge part of the game. Special teams last night. Dominated 3 quarters.
Yeah,
Great Tobe.
Yeah, great Tobe.
Hoge was all in on Tobe. That's
and
amazing.
Here's the other thing that happened. My wife caught me completely off guard. She went nuts on that last touchdown. She jumped up and down, was screaming. She hugged me. She wasn't that excited when she married me.
That's amazing.
I'm like, what is happening right now? I've never seen you grew up in Wisconsin, never seen her root for the Packers ever. She's now a legitimate Bears fan, but I'm never with her on game day, so I don't know how she reacts when Justin Fields throws a 6-yard touchdown or runs for a touchdown. I don't know what's happening back home.
Are you sure she wasn't jumping up and down because it was the end of the football season?
Maybe.
You guys are going on vacation tomorrow?
It might have been that. It's over! But I think what it was is, and this is a real ass thing that people don't want to admit, Taylor Swift made a lot of people legitimate football fans this year. She was watching that whole game for Taylor and Travis to enjoy their happy evening in Vegas or whatever the hell they did. I did see that Jason Kelce was hammered in his overalls and a mask.
Speaking of being hammered, I have friends who created a specialty shot for any time they would show Taylor.
Yeah.
And they did 9 shots.
So 9 was the number. It went over on our prize picks video.
Yeah, he did say that according to the official Taylor Bowl rules, which I didn't know that's a thing, but it ended at end of regulation. So he didn't have to add the 10th, 11th, or 12th shots in postgame. Or in overtime.
I mean, I think you're spot on. Taylor,
it's a real thing.
She did. She got in there. It was good for football. It was.
Look, they're either really in love, which it sort of seems like they are, or we're going to find out in a couple weeks. It was the greatest marketing ploy in the world for both Taylor and the NFL. And I did see Roger Goodell and Taylor Swift talking yesterday.
All right, I hope it works out for them. Let's go on that level, but I'm going to bet against it. Just, general math percentages, 50-50, and somehow that thing doesn't feel like it's perhaps built for last, but she's really into it.
When Travis Kelce assaulted Andy Reid, did anyone else's mind immediately go to Taylor?
No.
Not like in that way, but I'm just like, does she know the crazy Travis Kelce football side?
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
I maybe Taylor. I hope that she sat down with Travis afterwards. Like, if I'm going to be with you and be connected to you, I cannot be connected to somebody with my brand. I'm worth $1.1 billion. Did you Google that? Did you Google search that during the game? What the hell is Taylor Swift worth? What is?
And no,
at
some point the number doesn't matter. She's got like 6 private planes and 7 houses. And, all she needs to do whenever, because what Travis needed in that moment was her to come down on the sidelines and sing to him. You need to calm down.
Yeah. We got a double dip from Big Cram that I think we should get to right now. This first one's about
Who would take a picture like that and put that on the internet? I don't know who would do such a thing.
I'll let you read it.
Go ahead, Carm.
$9.99, excuse me, from Big Cram. If that was Bill Belichick, he would have benched Kelce the whole game to prove the point. Would have lost the game, but the point was that is an interesting point by you, Big Cram. You don't think so?
He's not benching his.
He benched. Who was the cornerback that he benched?
If Gronk had done that to him, there's no way he's benching Gronk.
He made a very weird point when whoever.
If Kadarius Toney did it to Andy Reid, we couldn't have benched him anymore. He was already benched, but he could just.
Did he not bench their best cornerback going into the Super Bowl? Did he not do that?
Yeah, that was a thing, but that was for off the field stuff. What was that again?
It's the Super Bowl. I don't care what he did. I mean, within not killing somebody reason, I don't think it's the worst point by Big Cram. I'm with you, Big Cram. $9.99. There is haters, and then there's Carm standing on business when it comes to hating on great players. He's like me, for real. For real. Can't wait for people to start hating on the Bears. Maybe one day we'll be on top.
Thank you, Big Cram.
Right.
Yeah. Is that what we were getting hated on last week in Vegas?
Well, yeah, we're right there.
We were the ones that were there.
We're at the top of the mountain. I mean, I think most people, like during the Jordan era when we were the Chiefs here the one time in Chicago. I mean, I know the Blackhawks had their 3-6, but let's be real here. It was really the Bulls' run. We were hated in like some corners, but most of America loved the Bulls. Like, I don't know if that's really the case with the Chiefs. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are. Maybe with Taylor and Patrick and the whole thing, they're just America's team now. Does anybody get that sense? I don't know.
Now there's people in the comments mad at me that I'm sticking up for Taylor Swift. Is there one legitimate reason not to like Taylor Swift? Like, seriously.
No.
Other than you're annoyed by her greatness. Yeah. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah, don't put on Taylor all the cute women in your life that didn't want to go out with you. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. Go watch the Colin Cowherd clip from a couple weeks ago. That was fantastic.
Is that what he said?
You never watched that?
I heard about it, but is that in essence what he said?
It's basically what he was saying is like the people who are mad at Taylor Swift are basically lonely men that have not had a great sex life. That was essentially his point.
Hey, listen, I can speak for those people. Nah, that's not entirely true. But I get it. You're jealous of the pretty girl and the fact that she likes him and not you. Okay.
Yeah,
she does great.
You don't even have to like her music, but like she's insanely talented. I had this debate once with an old coworker named Sam Zuba. Shout out to Sam Zuba, and he was just like, he's like hating on Led Zeppelin because he's a Dave Matthews fan. I forget how it came up, but like the point I was trying to make to him was like, you cannot like Led Zeppelin. Like, you cannot be a fan. It's possible to not be a fan of their music.
Right.
But you cannot say that that Dave Matthews is better than Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, and just don't
you could prefer Justin Fields to Patrick Mahomes, but you can't make an argument that Justin Fields is better than Patrick Mahomes. Does that make sense? Like, you have to acknowledge greatness at some point. And the reality is, in the music rankings of all time, Led Zeppelin's up here and Dave Matthews is down here. And there's no way to argue against that. You can prefer Dave Matthews, but that doesn't mean he's better.
Yeah, and
you cannot like Taylor Swift's music, but if you're trying to tell me that she's not insanely talented and the best performer that exists right now, you're just in denial and you hate her for other reasons.
Yeah, and look, you could love your guy too. Just, be the big man, big woman in the room, whatever, and acknowledge, what the successes that people have. It doesn't take anything away from your guy, your girl.
Yeah. All right.
What a politically correct show this has become today.
Oh boy.
You should be proud of us, Lawrence. Learning it from you.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Well,
you know what else you should learn?
What should I learn
about Factor?
Damn right I should.
Factor did such a great job with us last week and sponsoring all our Super Bowl stuff. We really appreciate all the support from Factor. And we need you to, pay attention here because it matters. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day easy. I know I struggle with this. I am too damn busy, and the thing that I screw up the most is just eating.
I'm a disgusting slob. I need some Factor too. Let's go.
Get some good food that does not take a lot of time to
food
make.
In Vegas was horrible.
Horrible. Seriously, we could do a half hour on that.
Well,
I needed Factor last week.
Horrible.
You did miss our best meal.
I did.
By far.
Not even for the food, but
actually, and you missed the other one too.
What was the other one?
The nice Italian place we went to on Monday night.
Yeah, I didn't do that either. You were better than me. You're better late at night than I am. You're just better. You have your stamina. Props to Hoge. Hoge, you got better stamina than me. Everybody on the show does.
You can sleep this week. That was my attitude all week long was I will sleep next week. Meanwhile,
my attitude was get back to the hotel and get ready for the next day. That was my attitude.
Well, you needed more Factor in life is what you needed. Because wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with, it's going to take me to Maui. Be ready with prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered straight to your door. You'll have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and more. And there's also just chef's choice if you just want some, some good stuff too. Not everybody wants the keto stuff, but they have all these options for you. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. What are you waiting for? Get started today and have a feel-good week of meals ready to go. They have 2-minute meals, snacks, smoothies. The smoothies are great, by the way. They really are outstanding. They're pre-made. All you got to do is open them after they're refrigerated and drink them. No prep, no mess meals. Factor meals are 100% ready to heat and eat, so there's no prepping, cooking, or cleanup needed. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to head to factormeals.com/CHGO Bears 50. Again, use that code CHGO Bears 50 to get 50% off. That's code CHGO Bears 50 at factormeals.com/CHGO Bears 50 to get 50% off.
That's a beautiful thing. And hey.
Do you have the ad open or not?
No, I do. I'm just making sure that.
Because it's no longer football season?
Yeah.
I go with the basketball.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's do it like that.
Even though every baseball team tweeted it's baseball season last night at the end of the game.
I put this
I was
in,
like,
so,
what about
let
the
me
NBA?
tell you something very
What about
clear.
the Hockeys?
Baseball.
I
It is
don't know.
NFL draft season is what it is.
Yeah,
it is?
And we all know that.
Very weird energy with all the baseball teams. Like, it's baseball season now. It's not. It's NBA season, NHL season, and draft season.
Hoge, you gotta move here? Because I'm not sure what to do on this one, to be honest.
Okay, I got you.
go with the
What we're going to say. What?
Yeah.
Go with the hoops one. Is there
It's
a
not-
hoops read?
I don't see it.
Oh.
I don't either. But here's what we're going to do. The reality is that
Bottom line is you should.
DraftKings is great, and you should use the DraftKings app. And there's definitely a promo they have for you right now because they always have a promo. And my guess is because football is over and they were an official sports betting partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 58. DraftKings did a great job in Vegas too. Now, as we turn our attention to the draft or the NBA or NHL, there's definitely a promo for you out there, and you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code CHGO. You will be able to use that promo code if you have not signed up already with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58. With code CHGO, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available in problem gambling, 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resort, 21 or over, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Nice job.
You're so good at that.
I messed up on one there. I almost had it perfect. Good save there. DraftKings, we love you.
We do love DraftKings. All right.
I was all over it yesterday, and I almost had it on both sides, and it just didn't work out. And my bet on who was going to score the first touchdown did not come through.
I went Kelce. Should have went with the chalk on the other side. You know, KC's starting slow.
I did George Kittle. Nope.
Neither of those tight ends played well in the first half.
Yeah.
Didn't get a lot of action there.
Sure didn't.
I thought a Pacheco touchdown, anytime touchdown was money. That was the piece I
was
missed
not,
in my parlay.
Well, that's the one thing we didn't say, by the way. Pacheco doesn't fumble. You don't mess up the punt. You win the football game. Yeah,
Wait, who? What?
Wait, say that all again?
Pacheco fumbles
Yeah.
in the red zone. That was a killer.
Yeah.
And the fumble.
McCaffrey did it on the 49ers side.
Yeah, I right. Wow. Rough moment for Carm. Senior moment. I meant McCaffrey's fumble. Thank you very much. Not Pacheco.
Okay.
That you needed Pacheco's fumble. The United, you got it. You needed one of those. You needed McCaffrey to not do that, and then you needed your special teams to be clean, and you would have won the football game.
All you needed to do was not like. Well, first of all, run the ball in the second half. McCaffrey had 2 carries in the third quarter.
After he scores a touchdown too.
Yeah, it's not good.
Guys going in on touch looks like the greatest football player, of all time, and nothing.
There are 3 drives in the third quarter. Drive 1, pass, scramble, punt. Drive 2, pass, punt. Drive 3, run, pass, punt. And then their fourth drive, they had one run that drive ended up going into the fourth quarter, and they scored a touchdown on that one.
Yeah.
So, run the ball.
This tweet from Alex Kirshner I wanted to share. A truly mind-boggling Super Bowl coincidence. Both punters, Mitch Wishnowsky and Tommy Townsend, punted exactly 5 times for 254 yards, which is a 50.8 average. like the exact same lines to the yard. The punts were outstanding. The punt coverage was outstanding.
Yeah.
At one point, I tweeted that Chris Conley should win Super Bowl MVP.
Good tweet.
And if the 49ers had won, I think there was a case.
The only time I tweeted was during halftime. That's my Super Bowl ritual.
It's hard. Dude, the Super Bowl is the hardest game to try to tweet because you have to watch the commercials.
Right.
So there's no breaks. I find myself more on my phone like while the game's going on than during the commercial breaks. All right.
Yeah. We're okay.
No, we're good.
Awards?
But we haven't addressed the question that's on our title.
Okay, let's address it.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
What was your idea? So
I'm going to just not look at
here?
the chat because it's already toxic and it's day 1 of 74.
Yeah, no, I do want to clear up one little thing because I understand. I think even when I said it, it sounded weird. But like when I said earlier, when Kelce ran over Andy Reid, that my first thought was Taylor Swift. It's not because I thought he was going to do anything to her. It's just that that's where my head was most of the game. I was wondering, well, what's Taylor Swift think about this?
Yeah. Well, and
same thing in post game when he's yelling in the mic, "Viva Las Vegas," and then they pan to her and she looked mortified.
Taylor should have had her own press conference for going through the game, for what talk about the relationship.
But see, this is part of why I respect her. She's not actually doing anything to command limelight. She's not giving press conferences. She's not doing interviews. The only thing she could do is not go to the game to prevent herself from being shown on TV. It's not like she's the one doing that.
It almost feels too, and this is the dumbest thing I'll say today, which is an accomplishment. The hugs in the box, they kind of feel real. Like they actually care to that level.
She looked like she was like a nervous wreck during that
they
game.
looked into
Blake
it.
Lively was definitely into the game.
She cared.
I
Most random box of people in the world, by the way.
But I
Ice
think like
Spice, Blake
Miles
Lively.
Teller was in there.
Oh, yeah.
Ice Spice. I don't even know who Ice Spice is.
I know.
Is that the Six Spice Girl?
Yeah,
I'm not saying that
she was in the Starry ad last night.
Yeah, I'm not saying that she cares to the level of some diehard Chief fan who's been watching the Chiefs since she came out of the womb. But it did seem to be like they're like there's some realness going on there.
Yeah.
That she really does care for her man in the moment and football and all the things. I give her props for her authenticity. Lawrence, does that bother you at all?
No, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Go Taylor.
Okay.
Chiefs.
Get to the title.
All right, topic of the day was, does Patrick Mahomes winning another Super Bowl make you want Caleb Williams? And so the tea leaves keep moving that the Bears are drafting a quarterback. They're taking Caleb. They're not trading the pick. At some point here.
There's multiple reports over the weekend.
Yeah.
From Rappaport saying that it's going to take a historic haul to get the Bears to move off of the first pick, which is presuming that it's Caleb Williams.
Yeah. And then we get into the game, and the reason why the Chiefs were in the game was because of the quarterback. The reason why they won the game was because of the quarterback. The reason why they're the Chiefs is because of the quarterback. I don't care. You can talk about Andy Reid, and you can talk about Travis Kelce. You can talk about all of it. None of it works without him. Period. You're not throwing Brock Purdy onto that team, and they're going to have 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. You need help. I'm not saying he's doing it by himself, but he is the freaking reason why they're the Chiefs, period. I don't think anybody would even argue with that. But so then for me to answer our own question here, I don't think you can draw a line from Patrick to Caleb because there's only going to be one of him. The chance that Caleb is even 75% of Patrick Mahomes is unlikely if you go by the odds. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good quarterback. I hope he's going to be a great quarterback. I hope he's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback if indeed he becomes a Bear. But the odds are unlikely. So what if people want to, fans, media, whoever want to make the argument, see, that's Mahomes. That's why we draft Caleb. I'm not looking at it like that. To me, it's completely independent of what's going on with the Chiefs. It should just come down to, do you think the guy is significantly better than Justin or not? And if you do, you take him. Not if they're equal, because all the money stuff in my mind. If you look at him, your evaluation, Ryan Poles in the big chair, your scouts, this dude's here, Justin's here. then you draft the guy. I don't think you. I think it's dumb to look at it like, yeah, see, look at Mahomes. We want to draft our. He's not going to be Mahomes, man. That is way too tall. So
I mean,
but yes, you need a great quarterback, but that's not news.
I agree with the fact that it's unrealistic to expect any of these quarterbacks to be Mahomes. But I do think it's also why teams continue to chase the next Tom Brady and the next Patrick Mahomes. Because I keep seeing like tweets that are like, quarterbacks on rookie contracts never win Super Bowls. It's like, yeah, but the reality is that Brady and Mahomes are winning all the Super Bowls.
Right.
Like you still need upper echelon quarterback,
of course,
to get that. And the only exceptions to this at all in the last decade, really, don't take me literal on that, but you have the Rams who managed to win with essentially a perfect roster, and they put Stafford, who's already extremely talented, probably going to the Hall of Fame, in a perfect situation. And oh, by the way, they were this close after all that to not even getting it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And then the other really extreme example or exception to what has been the Brady-Mahomes rule over the last like 20 years now is the Eagles Super Bowl, and they beat Mahomes. Or I'm sorry, when they beat Brady with Nick Foles, which makes no sense still to this day. But so, if you...
Right.
But again, kind of a perfect timing underdog role. And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Wentz still on his rookie deal then?
That sounds right.
So I think that still, to me, qualifies as team winning with a quarterback on a rookie contract, even though Nick Foles was technically the one playing in the game. It's about how your resources are allocated. And I think the bottom line is kind of to your point. We're getting into the weeds on this a little bit too much. It's like you need a good quarterback to win.
Right.
That's how the sport works. And do you think your quarterback is good enough to do so? And can you upgrade at the position? If the answer is yes, you do it.
Right. My point is like, if the Chiefs had lost yesterday 20-3, I wouldn't be sitting here like, see, they had Patrick Mahomes and it didn't go well and it can go. No. You need the quarterback, man. You are creating room for error. And I get a lot of Bears fans, the romance of keeping Justin and building around him and having a team. But the challenge of that is that you have to hit on draft pick after draft pick after draft pick, and it's all got to come together at the same time, contract-wise, timeline-wise. Whereas the Chiefs were in a down year this year. They were supposed to be not where they're at right now as back-to-back Super Bowl champions. And if you go back in time, too, I read one thing today where, coming into the draft, people looked at Mahomes like he was too crazy, took too many risks, all these things, and he had to be coached down. Well, yeah, okay, they coached him down. If you look at his air yards in the second half yesterday, you look at what they were doing. It was a ton of dump offs.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing anything super spectacular. There's the throw to Hardman, which was sweet across the field and incredible. They didn't score on that drive. That was
really the only big deep play they had the whole game.
I mean, what did he do? I don't know. On 4th and 1, they kept the ball in his hands, and he was able to figure out where's the hole, and let me go pick up 8 yards to keep the drive moving. The game-winning touchdown throw, Mitch Trubisky could have thrown that if he was smart enough to do it. He just took what the defense gave him better than anybody else did. There weren't some wow zinger down the seam insane throw just outside the stretched arms of the defender. He just played incredibly smart football, and he was 16-22 midway through the third to the final, to through overtime. The guy was just he was efficient, he was smart, he was in control, he was all the things.
Also, one of the biggest things I thought happened late that I don't think they win the game without it was Mahomes took the ball in his own hands. And they ran some option there, and he was able to run with it, which just goes to show you, like, you don't need to have a quarterback as dynamic as Justin Fields to run the ball. That certainly helps, but you just need to have the threat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ideally, you want the guy who can make all the throws, throw with anticipation, run the offense efficiently, and, oh, by the way, have the threat of running. That's how Patrick Mahomes stays healthy. But when they need to go down to it, nothing else is working. We got to use the QB run game. Then they go to it.
Right.
And it opened up other things, and it ended up being a huge factor in them winning the Super Bowl yesterday, even though Mahomes doesn't typically run a lot.
Yeah, and with him too, by the way, yes, if you absolutely need me to make the most insane play of all time for us to win, I got a great chance of being able to do it, or a better chance than anybody else, which is one of the things about Caleb that you got to love. The dude has the ability to run around and be insane back there. And yes, part of his problems right now is that he holds on to it too long, and he's going to have a lot of stuff coached out of him and all the things, but the talent is there. Talent's there with Justin too, man. He's just, there's a, I don't want to go down that road. I didn't say what I just said. The Justin part. Thank you very much.
All right, well,
Justin's fine.
You want to talk about ComEd for a second, and then we can hand out our awards from the week. Well, it's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. And that's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet, for the well-being of all of us who share it.
That's correct, Sir Hoge. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
So what should business owners do?
They should go to ComEd.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Did you say ComEd.com/clean?
You bet your sweet bippy I did. Go now and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come. Thank you to our friends at ComEd. And also, thank you to our friends at Game Time Tickets. Download the Game Time Ticket app for all your sporting, concerts, theater needs. The best, easiest process that you can possibly have when you are looking for tickets in the secondary market. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, even an hour after it starts. You can find exclusive flash deals, sponsored deals. They've got the section zone deals where you pick the section, Game Time picks the seats. You get an average of 18% savings on that. They don't have that at other ticket platforms that I've used in the past. Game Time does. It's a great way to get value if you're just looking to get in the door. All of it is available by downloading the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code CHGO. You get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, use that redeem code CHGO when you create the account. You get $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
By the way, we also have to do a DraftKings King of the Game today. I'm going to do a little curveball here.
All right, great.
Because as good as Patrick Mahomes was, and he is the GOAT, now he's got 3 Super Bowls, good for him. Chris Jones was outstanding. Chris Jones is a game wrecker. He is so fun to watch on the defensive side. He made one of the biggest plays in the game when he I think the 49ers would have won that game if he didn't come up right up the middle there on that one throw that Purdy seemed to have his guy open, and he just had no chance and had to throw it away. So just a really good football player. So
he also cried during the anthem. That was amazing timing on his part. Cut to him, boom, got those tears out.
Yeah, or he was already crying and they cut to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A little editing.
My wife enjoyed that part too. My biggest regret last week was not talking to the Thunderbird pilots. They were right there. They're so cool.
I didn't see
I want to be a Thunderbird pilot.
Where was I?
They were hanging around. They were like by our table for like 30
Really?
minutes.
I didn't see that.
They were right there, like kind of in our corner. And
Could you have gotten a ride on one if you had talked to them, sweet talked them, like in their practice run?
I don't think so.
Well, you know the way like you'll see like Cheryl Scott will do it before the Air and Water show.
I would do that if I've never been asked to do it. I would 100% do it.
I would not.
Oh my God, I think it would be so cool. I would 1,000% do that. But never been asked to do it. We can give them some love. Alex Ammerling, $5 super chat. I'm sold on going for Caleb. Need to have that difference maker at QB to win it all. All right, we'll get to some super chats here in a second too. But we we decided to have some awards for the week, and I'm looking at this, and we have like 20.
We don't have to do all of them.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they need 10-minute Carm explanations, each of them.
I mean, right? We can roll.
Well,
through.
we can do them all. We can just do some. Some require more context than others.
Yeah. Well, you want to go through here? I'll start actually.
Okay.
I'll do the best interview of the week. We discussed it at length. A lot of good candidates, but we are giving it to our guy Cole Kmet, who made time to come and see us. Showed up with a cast on his arm, was in a great mood, looked like Clark Kent, and he is a rare, amazing Chicago athlete. We are huge fans of Cole Kmet.
For those that don't know, like it wasn't like he was making the rounds on Radio Row. Like he came there to see us, not part of his paid, appearances with us during the season.
He was there to enjoy Vegas, go to shows.
Yeah, and I'm sure he had some things on the book for the week, but it is not exactly easy getting into that media center. It's a process.
Yep. Rags did a hell of a job getting him in, and they did a terrible job getting him out and dropping him off to the other Chicago media.
Yeah. We can either go this way and avoid the Chicago media, or we can basically deliver him to the NBC Sports Chicago table.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
No problem, Josh Rock. You're the man. We got you.
Most down to earth. If you missed this Friday, go find the YouTube. I don't know what I did to my shoulder mid-show here, but I feel like my shoulder's out of its socket, which is not great.
That's bad for you, buddy.
It's not comfortable right now. Most down to earth, we're giving to Dan Orlovsky. He was outstanding.
Oh, man.
He's just a normal dude, just breaking down tape with a.
But there are some people who advance very far in media and think they are godlike. Dan Orlovsky's had a ton of success. Great-looking dude, incredible athlete, all the things.
Taller than you expect.
And he comes and he sits down. He's like, yeah, I'm just kind of an ordinary guy. Like, I don't really want to be thought of as anything other than that. He was just completely chill and awesome.
The only problem, we didn't get a chance to talk to him about his awful food takes. Once every like 6 months, he throws something out there that is just insane.
Yeah, that does something.
Didn't he say something about I don't know, like ice cubes and red wine, or like the ketchup on hot dogs? Something. There's things that
would have triggered me.
I've been upset about.
Sure. Well, that's a miss on our part.
But his football takes.
Yeah.
Honestly, his precision passing in the Pro Bowl is pretty amazing.
You want to address Hello Kitty there? Hoge's face when everybody told them to build around Justin over the week. It was classic. Did you have Hoge face? Did you have resting Hoge face on that one, or is that a different Hoge face?
I think that's where Hoge. That's where the crazy Justin Fields supporters, where resting Hoge face was born. Because I was going we talked about this. I was just sitting like this, looking at Robbie, and he was just talking.
Okay.
And everybody who.
But you didn't have any moment where you actually were giving him the stare down, like, what are you talking about?
I had that with a different guest that
You're
might air later this week, and part of that was the person interviewing that guest too. But
okay, I believe we're talking about the Sam Acho interview.
I'm done letting.
Hey. I would like to be talking to Sam Acho right now. It's true.
Sam, please come in at 3 p.m. on Friday, 2 hours before our flight home, and then talk to us after we've already finished the show.
The nicest text afterwards, too, saying thank you.
Sam's the best. I love Sam. The greatest part of this interview that people will see later in the week is what people can't see on the interview, which was every other person at ALLCITY trying to break down the set behind the cameras and giving Carm death stares because he wouldn't stop asking questions.
Yeah, too bad.
Just like a group of completely broken humans who have just been devastated by 5 nights in Vegas.
Yeah, no, I was on a heater with Acho. I was on a heater with Acho.
Staring Sam in the eyes instead of noticing what else was going around
That's
him.
fine. I apologize to Allie and Saul and RK and whoever else that I...
How about me? Me?
Nope. You literally turned the interview.
The best part is I had to put my arm around Carm and say, Carm, it's okay. It's time to go home. You need to go catch your flight. Only to find out at that point that Law had already stopped recording.
Well, okay, first of all, the interview had ended.
Yes, I ended the interview.
there was a good ending point, and then Carm just kept going.
asking more questions.
And at that point, I slammed my hand on our table, and the interview just stopped recording. So that was,
It was a sign from above that the week was over. The worst interview of the week, no one actually saw because it was so bad. We're like, there's nothing to do with. We asked Chase Young, I think 9 questions in 36 seconds.
Whatever. Justin's quarterback.
He had one decent answer on Montez Sweat at the beginning.
But
it was basically just like, that's my guy. That's my dog.
Right. He was all smiles, and then we asked him like a real question, and he went right into, no. I'm not doing this with you guys.
I will say Chase Young played very well last night, though.
He was in there.
He had a good game.
Yep.
His game on Sunday was 7 million times better than his interview with CHGO on Monday.
We should play that later in the week.
We could. We have it somewhere.
We'll run it down.
Most awkward moment of the week, not a surprise. The Jackson Smith and Jigba moment.
Congratulations to you, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, that one was classic. Went viral. However, that wasn't the most awkward interview of the week. That one we're giving to Gerard Whiteley. Did we settle on Whiteley?
Yeah, sure.
Whiteley.
Oh, we did, mate.
The play-by-play guy for Australia who calls the Super Bowl in Australia. The context here is that Carm basically gave Braggs the very vague instructions to go find us anybody.
We'll talk to anyone. Let's go. Get big names. I'll literally speak to anyone.
So he took that as literal as he could, found the Australian play-by-play guy.
I mean,
it was a great job.
The one thing that Braggs messed up because earlier in that show you had talked about how we got to talk to the guys from London.
Yes.
Right? And so he saw the Australian flag, which of course has the Union Jack in the upper left quadrant of it, and he took that as that's the Union Jack, and so I'm going to grab that guy.
He thought he was grabbing somebody from London,
and it was not.
Instead, he was grabbing somebody from Melbourne, Australia.
Close enough.
Didn't even ask him about Bluey.
And then sat him down with us without telling us who he was. So I would love to go. I still haven't go back and watch it, but I'd love to know the look on my face that, hi, who are you that we're talking to? Very professionally, I think he picked up on this and introduced himself. At which point I was like, "Oh, this is cool!" Like it was a cool interview idea.
He was great.
And then a few questions in, it got even more awkward because I realized I not only know who this guy is, I have been on his show with him because a couple years ago in LA, they asked me to come on their show to talk about the Bears. So yeah, that was fun.
But he was in a great mood.
We had fun with it, but it was definitely the most awkward interview.
It was odd.
Yeah. You have an apology you want to give out.
We like to this is the We Apologize Award. We would like to apologize to all the fine people at Table 23.
Oh my goodness.
Who unfortunately were positioned right next to where we were at with 20 some odd people milling around at all times, seemingly from ALLCITY.
It's probably the worst table location that anyone could have possibly had.
Great number,
and they were coming from Dubai, right?
Well,
Saudi Arabia.
Well, there's one gentleman there who I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head, and I feel awful about it because he's from Dubai and he's a huge fan of the show.
Nicest dude ever. Gave us dates. Was super pleasant and shaking our hands and was like
dates.
Wait, don't gloss over the dates. They were royal dates. He handed them to us and said we are now Dubai royalty.
They were like in a gold box. It was the most delicious date of all time.
I believe his name was Mahar, I think.
Okay,
I'm not sure I'm saying it right.
You want to take a swing at it?
M-A-H-E-R.
I feel terrible. I hope he sends. If you're watching, please send us a message.
You were amazing, and your friends that you're with, I think they smiled at us because they love you, and they hated us. And deservedly so. We were in your space. We apologize. They didn't show up on Thursday and Friday, which was the busiest days. So thank you. And then at the end of Friday, he showed back up after we'd all left. I'm like,
and he's like, "You guys are leaving?"
Table 23. All of us, me specifically, we apologize.
Most fun interview of the week: Bert Kreischer and Braggs taking his shirt off with Bert. He may or may not be suspended by the NFL for life for that, but
at least if he is,
He went out with a bang.
And we all got to go out and see the full Braggs.
Well, see, I won't be. I will fight that. If Braggs is banned by Roger, I'm not. I'll let it go.
It's a big moment. I mean, I've never seen anybody lean into it faster. All right.
He was dying to do
I do believe that if there is a movie about Braggs' rise to prominence, I think Bert Kreischer has a shot to play him.
Yeah, maybe.
And by the way, my favorite Braggs moment was not that. It was the fact that he summoned that woman to get us pizza, and she brought the pizza like 20 minutes later. That pizza saved my life.
And it was how he did it. Mid-show, he just yells, "Where's my pizza?"
That actually should be an award,
worked.
too. Best acquisition of food, Braggs.
It's amazing.
100%.
He was phenomenal. Braggs did a lot of really good things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
No, he did, and
He did them in the very Braggs way.
yeah.
But it was part of why it worked.
Which is why we have created the new award. What's it called?
The Took the Most Bows of the Week award.
Bows of the Week award goes to Greg Braggs Jr. Go to his Twitter, and you will learn over and over again of how he went all in on put all his chips down, and how
he beat the house.
And he's living his dream, and nobody's doing it better than Gregory P. Allen. And he's certainly, I don't know how he's getting that arm back there to pat it so many times, but he's patting away at everything he's done in his life, rising from this dust of bricklaying to the top of Media Mountain. He hasn't put it quite like that yet.
Hey, he had a good week.
Brian Schuster bringing up the Jordan Love thing. That was pretty amazing.
I think we had a separate award for that, maybe. Maybe we don't. Maybe that. But you're right. Him telling Jordan Love to his face that he was ruining his life was a great moment. And I have dreams of seeing that 8 months from now on some Netflix show because NFL Films was following him. I really hope it makes the cut.
The Love thing, we made that Braggs and Love. We gave that's the best moment of the week. We're giving that one to Gregory too.
Oh, okay. Best moment of the week. Oh, that was on there.
Best moment of the week, Braggs and Love.
And shout out to Nick for filming that from another angle.
Yes. That was good.
And that speaks into most versatile. Most versatile award goes to Nicholas Moriano, who was going to press conferences, hanging out with Devin, getting quotes, filming us all over the damn place like a absolute ninja, sitting in on the show, getting completely hammered one night, rallying the next day, looking like he was going to absolutely faint, but somehow got through the show. Nicholas Moriano showed more versatility than all of us. Most versatile. Nick, you're the winner, my brother.
How about Colin here? Best outfit award. Braggs in a suit jacket versus Braggs shirtless.
I mean, that really shows the range of the week that he had.
Range. He's like the Meryl Streep of dressers.
I can tell you that nobody else on Radio Row last week was both suited up and shirtless at some point.
That's true.
I mean, some were one and some were the other, but no one except Greg was both. Yes. At some point in the week. Best question of the week. This is a no-brainer. That would be Mark Carman asking the dancer at the Super Bowl party.
Amazing content.
Whether or not the Bears should draft Caleb Williams.
Everybody seemed to like that one with the exception of John Greenberg, who thinks that we need to stop asking about Caleb. Sorry, Johnny!
Worst Gambler Award goes to?
Braggs.
That would be Adam Hoge.
Oh. Completely
pathetic. Every time he sat down, he was...
See, this is where I would actually quibble. The obvious answer is Greg.
Tommy Two Hands.
There's a difference between being a bad gambler and having bad luck. I had no luck. By the way, I carried over to the sorry table Saturday night with my son. Just couldn't pull over a card to get out of the start the whole time. I'm like, this is me at the blackjack table. There'll be 3 aces on the table. Blackjack, 3. Guess who got the 3?
Well... I just thought that your energy that you brought to the table was part of the problem.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, when I sat down on
vibes
Tuesday night, you were like, "Yeah, I didn't want to sit down and look at bad vibes at the table." Now I didn't, kill it, but I came out scratching. And then you were like, "Let me pick this table," and then you just death somehow. Some way I survived when I played with you because I instantly was lose, and I'm like, screw it, I'll just bet everything I have left, and I won that hand, so I stayed alive. But you were the cooler man.
Well, that
craps table that you guys played.
Oh God, that was.
We had such a good plan.
That wasn't just me though. That was
everyone.
That was everyone.
All-City ice table.
Tommy Two Hands was the only one that had any luck.
I mean, I did hit, I think, 2 points.
Maybe.
But then it was pretty quick after that.
Yeah,
so.
It wasn't good. All right, keep going here.
So what I'd also like to do along the Hoge line is give our mansion award, because sometimes when you're the mansion, it's beautiful to be in the mansion and live in the big house and have all the the nice gold toilets. But sometimes it just goes the other way on you. And on our flight back, as we said earlier, there were 6 people. Hoge upgrades to mansion first class, and he's literally the only person on the flight sitting next to anyone else, and it's a Packer fan.
Nightmare.
And you're buried in the corner. Braggs is sleeping across 3 chairs. I'm doing the same thing, by the way. Took a nice nap. Lawrence looked so damn comfortable. Nick was doing the same thing. Hoge's sitting next to Aaron Rodgers for 4 hours going
I believe that was an Eddie Lacy jersey.
Oh, I thought it was Aaron Jones. 27.
It was hysterical to walk on the plane after Hoge boards first.
Yeah, but so what? Did you get food?
Yeah, see, that's where I was about to go. The joke's on you, man. I had a great meal, a couple bourbons. I had a phenomenal flight home. There's plenty of space in that first class seat. It was weird. The first class seats were all taken except for, I think, 1. And then you guys had the whole rest of the plane yourself.
I don't know how this works as Carm's slum over here. But so you're telling me if you sit in first class, the drinks and the food are free?
Yes. And it's a full meal with
the
dessert.
It's not Spirit Airlines. So what was the dinner?
Yeah, what were we talking?
You could either have chicken or pasta. I had a nice chicken.
You definitely go chicken there.
It was really good. Good salad, warm bread. Perfectly.
Love a warm bread. Sure.
Okay.
And then a nice mango sorbet for dessert.
Mango sorbet?
Yeah.
Nice.
What mango sorbet?
They cleanse the palate with a mango sorbet.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, but now, once that ends, can you not just go back to the back and then just...
And that's the other option I had. I could have easily just gone back and slept in a full row if I wanted to.
So you didn't sleep?
I did.
You sat up and slept? That's a good job.
Well, the seats go back in first class far enough that you can... By the way, the only 2 times I've been upgraded to first class in the last, 6 years were both Super Bowl trips home. Because nobody's flying home the night of the Super Bowl. There's extra planes coming in, so they all leave empty. And the only people leaving are us morons.
Okay. Well, listen, I still think you get the Mansion Award there for all of that.
I'll take the Mansion Award, but I don't mean to ruin your victory lap that you had all weekend, but I was fine.
Okay. All right. Worst person to fly with goes to...
It's hopefully Braggs.
Gregory P. Allen Braggs, who not only when he gets to the airport thinks that he doesn't know how to check in for the flight, where you look at him cross-eyed that this is who you work with every single day.
I need help.
Jenny, don't go anywhere. I don't know how to do this. Excuse me? You don't know how to check in for the flight?
Did Jenny check him in on the way?
No, he got it done.
Well, he was at the airport at 11 a.m. for the Purdue game.
Yeah, well, she probably did. And then
our flight didn't leave till 5.
Yeah.
But you're trying to have a peaceful flight out to Vegas, and next thing you know, you wake up. There's a picture of you on Twitter because he just thinks it's this is free game. Carb sleeping. Let me put it out there for the content. It's just a dangerous dude to fly with.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to check in, and if you're
also packs 75 pounds worth of clothing.
That was fun. That was amazing.
3 suitcases. Impressive.
Lawrence, we have an award for you, which is happiest person for a meal. No one has ever been that happy with a sandwich than you were on that turkey
Tea-Day.
You wouldn't
ran
stop.
it back the next day. Loved it.
What was the sandwich?
It was like a Thanksgiving sandwich. It was turkey, cheese, stuffing, and cranberry sauce. It was
that actually
phenomenal.
Sounds phenomenal. Was that at that little deli by the
Citizens over in
I just
Mandalay
ate
Bay.
chicken wings every day.
Well, the chicken wings. Great to have free chicken wings every day, though. Come on, man, we got to be better.
I think Thursday was the one day I didn't eat them.
Ye who keeps money in pocket has more money in pocket. Words of wisdom from yours truly.
Yeah, of course. Yes. But I needed to eat food. I needed more fruits
Why does
and
every
vegetables.
sandwich in Vegas cost $22?
This was $18 after tax. I didn't mind it.
I can't. I hate living in a world where you got to pay $18 for a sandwich. What the hell happened to this place? Let's go.
I don't know.
Come on. The $24 sandwich Thursday night was much worse.
Yeah.
Do I get an award for being deceased by Friday? I believe I died. It was quite a painful
most
drop-off.
deceased. You win the most deceased award for sure.
Our last award is going to go to most connected show at ALLCITY, and as great as we felt being connected to everyone we talked to, from Dan Orlovsky to Cole Kmet to Matt Ryan, which is coming up, and Cassius Marsh, and
Yeah, definitely Cassius Marsh.
Oh, I have one I want to add too.
yeah.
Best Bears teammate award.
Okay.
How about DJ Moore trying to help us get Cam Newton?
That was great.
It didn't happen, but he tried.
That was really cool.
Thanks, DJ.
This was on Friday. We're lurking around Cam Newton. We see DJ, who we were literally chasing down and harassing earlier in the week to talk to us, which he did.
But that made me feel like we didn't need to do that because we ended up talking to him for like 6 minutes there just chit-chatting.
Right. We could have had him later in the week. We didn't know that, though. It's kind of like
True.
the Niners and Shanahan. We actually took our shot when we had to versus doing
Shout
what
out
he
to
did.
Baja Blast.
Yeah. But then he was, we're sitting there having a nice conversation with DJ. It was super cool. And then I think it was me who said, like, you think Cam will talk to us? And he's like, you want me to ask him? And then you want to say what you said?
Oh, I go, you know him?
And he looked at Hoge Cross. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I was a Panther.
I played it off really well. I did have a minor brain fart there for half a second.
it
But
was
I thought I
Friday.
played it off pretty well. I think
You did.
I
You
think I
did.
sold him on it.
You did.
Yeah.
And I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But so, and then DJ went right to the people that he was working with. Hey, can Cam talk to these guys? Can these guys talk to Cam? Which is super nice. I mean, like, last thing he needed to do. DJ, first class. Most connected, though, as great as that was, goes to our DNVR Buffs team, who apparently is just
Part of Deion Sanders' family.
Amazing.
Deion Sanders loves
We family.
DNVR
That was
Buffs.
amazing. It's amazing.
They went to talk to him. If you guys didn't see this video, and they were like, they just started asking questions like normal. And Deion literally goes, y'all talking to me like we're strangers.
It was amazing.
We're family.
And then put his arm around Jake.
Yeah.
That was so rad.
So, and they were like, the Buffs were literally letting them do post-game shows like in their team meeting rooms last year.
And then they talked to Shador Sanders.
Yes.
and Dan
Shador made special time at the end of his day to come sit down for a while with them. That dude's one cool dude.
Yeah. So cool.
Lawrence was especially dressed with, or impressed with
Yeah.
the way that
His
Shador was
His
dressed.
fit was on 1,000.
Most clutch moment of the week. We had this one too.
Oh, me catching the light that Mac bumped into on Friday.
That was clutch.
We're giving it to RK, though. And Hoge, why don't you talk about this because it was your favorite thing of all time?
I
think.
did enjoy it. So Monday night, media night, RK had a plan to find Will Compton, who works at Barstool, right?
Think so, yeah.
Yeah. And Will, of course, is a longtime Nebraska Cornhusker. There's a longtime Colorado-Nebraska rivalry there. And I don't have the exact tweet in front of me right now, but RK goes up to him and basically says, fill in the blank. It's been 4,100 blah, blah, blah days since what? And should I even repeat what Will said?
You could say
It was crude. It was
enjoyed
something crude.
himself.
Yeah.
Since I did this to myself is essentially what he said, which was a really weird thing to say. RK didn't skip a beat. That would have thrown me off completely.
Oh.
You could see for like half a second he was like, what? But he didn't he stayed right on task, and he goes, since Nebraska beat Colorado in football. And then Will Compton just booked it out of there.
It's amazing.
And took the L like a man, and then that video went viral, and even Dave Portnoy retweeted the next day being like, man, sorry to see my man Will take such a beating like this. Oof. Yeah, it was fantastic.
RK in the moment, baby.
A lot of decent viral moments by our crew, including you asking the dancer about Kayla Williams.
That was big.
It was a good week.
It was a good week. We had a great time. Hope to be back there next year.
Remember, if you missed anything, you can go back on our YouTube channel. Check out some of the interviews. We certainly enjoyed ourselves.
And in 2 weeks, Hoge, where will we be? Or do we not talk about that?
The NFL Combine, baby.
That's right,
We'll
baby.
do it all again. It's
Back
not
on the
quite
road.
the same grind, but, well, it is. It is if you're
burning a candle at both ends.
it's gonna
That
be,
week is a grinder.
well, because you have to stay up past 10:30.
10:30.
I said that because you weren't even making it to 10:30 last week.
I mean, these people, they go till 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Not me. No chance. All right, let's get to some supers to close out the show. We got Jay Toasty, 199. The name is Jeremy, not Jeremy, Carm. LOL.
Jay Toasty is our dude?
Bear down. Oh, that's Jay Toasty.
Jay Toasty, you are the man. Thank you for being a diehard.
And what's his name again?
Jeremy.
Okay.
Not Jeremy.
Not Jeremy.
Jeremy spoken.
Drew Black, $2. No Waldron presser yet. Anything to read into? Drew, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been so busy that I almost didn't even notice that until last week. And I was like, oh, yeah, Shane Waldron hasn't even talked.
Is that normal?
You know, it's not normal, but there was 1 year, I want to say it might have been under John Fox, where we didn't talk might have been even when Vic Fangio was hired, where we didn't talk to them until May, until rookie minicamp.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't remember you hire a coordinator and they have their own press conference.
Oh, yeah, Chuck Pagano did. I specifically remember that one.
Okay.
Chuck Pagano did.
I don't remember that at all. But, yep, okay. Did Luke Getzey have his own press conference?
I don't remember off the top of my head when's the first time we talked to those guys last year.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
There's nothing to read into it, though.
Yeah, the answer to your question, I'm not worried about it. It would be nice to talk to the new OC. It was a huge offseason hiring. But, you know what's interesting is some of the other position coaches that have been hired have talked. Because they talked at, like, the Senior Bowl.
Right.
Or the East-West Shrine game. Like, I think Nick had some of those conversations. So, I wouldn't read into it at all. But, yeah.
It's fine. We're winning it all. Bears.
There you go. Chico Grizzly, $2. A Tom Grossi Time Chicago collab would be fire. Lawrence?
Yeah. Do you want me to get Tom on the phone?
I don't.
He's the guy that did the all 32 camps last year. He's apparently very funny, but he's a Packers fan. You know, Bears fans seem to be okay with him.
Okay.
Okay.
He's a podcaster.
Okay, you were with me on that one.
I'm down. Let's go get Tom Grossi.
I like it.
It's the offseason. We're open.
I'm sure Braggs has connections.
Bears on Kauai, $4.99. Our Suns football team beat Lahaina Luna, the coin toss team from last night, in the playoffs. Ruined the championship.
The championship after destruction.
Destruction. Oh, wow. So the Kauai team beat the. So if you missed the beginning of the game yesterday, the honorary captains
the Luna Lunas
were the Lahaina Luna Lunas football team.
Oh,
who did you miss the start of the game?
I apparently I did.
Well, yeah. So they invited them there because they're in the middle of their football season,
right?
Or where they're getting ready for the football season. They had this awful fire in Lahaina back in August, obviously, and the whole point of the story was that despite all the destruction and literally members of the team, coaches losing family members, having their houses burned down, parents, everyone was like, well, we want to keep playing football. And that was a huge factor that united them throughout the football season, and the NFL invited them, the coaches and the captains, to help with the coin toss yesterday. So
I'm not sure where I was at that moment because I definitely was there, but apparently I wasn't.
And Bears on Kauai is now admitting,
phenomenal story.
Bears on Kauai is now admitting to ruining their season.
Yeah, could have been a better story, but Bears on Kauai.
It's okay, Bears on Kauai.
Bears on Kauai. What round of the playoffs was that? I'm interested. You know, I'm always interested in high school football.
Well, the bigger question
is,
I'm
actually going to be in the town just north of that tomorrow.
Are you going to see Bears on Kauai on your trip here,
if
buddy?
he comes to Maui?
Kailua or
Bears on Kauai. You're going to come to Maui because let's make this. Let's make this story right. Or just tell Hoge he needs to get to wherever you are.
Look, you don't have to convince me to come to Kauai. I love Kauai, but we're not going to be in Kauai. I can't control that.
You could control that.
No, I can't.
Didn't you tell me that didn't we do Rowan Wilson just flying from here to there back in all the flights are cheap? Krista wants to go to Kauai. She wants to see Bears on Kauai.
Okay, you can call her after the show and have that conversation with her because I hit a brick wall trying to have that conversation.
Krista, it's Carm.
First round of the playoffs. Thanks, Bears on Kauai.
Have a great trip. But you will go to go see Bears on Kauai. No, Bears on Kauai. He's going 95% of the way. You got to do the rest. My only days off are today and tomorrow, and then I'm on tenors.
I don't know what
10-hour days, I'm assuming that means.
Oh, 10
Look
hour
at me with
days.
the abbreviation or slang or whatever we're calling that.
Today and tomorrow. So,
air traffic
so
control.
literally, Bears on Kauai, what you need to do is be there tomorrow when Hoge lands.
Also, if he's an air traffic controller, he should probably fly to you. He probably
Thank
has
you.
an in. Probably has an in.
Thank you.
Why doesn't
Puddle
he?
jump.
Why don't you guys, Bears on Kauai, are you down with picking up Hoge and taking him to his hotel? Because that's the service the mansion deserves. What do you think? I think you should pick him up, Bears on Kauai.
I'd take a ride. No, we're good.
You can do this, Bears on Kauai. Hoge will do a video with you.
I mean, that would be true die
I'm
hard
sure that's what you're dying for.
quality.
I'm holding this as a possibility.
Okay.
I don't know. Are you guys happy to be back in the studio? I'm feeling more energetic as the show goes on that I'm not stuck
I
in Vegas.
couldn't be happier to be here.
Yeah.
And
5 nights is about 6 nights too long.
I will
when
say,
you're working
though,
that hard.
averaged 12,000 steps a day last week.
I have not looked. I
It's
gotta
a
look.
good
Oh.
workout.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I definitely don't do that here.
Well, and I know the shows. It's time to go here, but so we landed Friday night at midnight. I did not get out of bed on Saturday till 1.
Good for you.
God, I'm so jealous. I had to coach a basketball game.
I haven't done that in literally, a decade almost.
10:30 for me, but I could have slept another 3 hours.
I mean, I woke up, I looked around, not happening.
Yeah.
I didn't have my car. There was no motivation.
No Poppy?
No
or
Poppy.
That was insane, though. We were scheduled to land at 11:50 p.m., and I was in my bed at 12:05.
Yeah, we got in
The fastest flight ever.
But so
less weight other than Braggs' bag.
I know. If it wasn't for that bag, slowed us down at least 1 mile an hour.
I got up because everybody needs to know this story at 1. I was on the tennis court in an insane match at 4. I screamed at the people on the court next to me because I was losing to the guy that I was losing to, and the court next to me called me out on something that was complete BS. This is the first time I'm playing on this team.
You went Travis Kelce?
I screamed at the guys that they were playing, and the guys on my team, first time playing with them, they're like, Carm, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, God, this is embarrassing. But, I thought they were wrong, and they were, 53% wrong. I'll take 47. And then, so I played. I walk out of there. I'm all tired. I'm exhausted. I, went to bed at 9 o'clock on Saturday night after that. I wake up 7:30 match Sunday morning. Half hour into it. Everything's stiff. Hadn't played all week. Played Saturday. Half hour into Sunday. Pop the calf.
Oh.
Can't run. Can't do anything. I'm on the 10-day DL. It's a horrible reentry.
You should have stretched.
Yeah. And I shouldn't have played back-to-back within 12 hours like I'm 25. And against biggest idiot of the week right here. It's a rough. Now the playoffs are coming right around the corner. The whole thing's. I ruined my season. I know everybody cares. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you have a great 10 days away from tennis. I'm gonna have a great 10 days off of work.
Oh, 10? I didn't realize it was 10.
Well, it's not really 10, but you know,
for you.
You can't fly home from there without getting in at 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
It's like,
Is anybody in the chat gonna? Thank you, Donnie. I love Carm Tensor. The chat just keeps going, talking Caleb and Justin.
it's unbelievable.
They yell at us.
Just saying horrible things to each other. Like, could you guys settle down with the toxic BS? Enough.
I mean,
Stop it.
I'm here to entertain you with my tennis story. Somebody's got to acknowledge me, or else I can't get off the show. And you guys just keep talking Caleb and Justin.
I just did it again, man. What did I do to my shoulder?
Oh, no, you and Carm both on the
my
IL.
good.
All right, listen,
Brian's asking who's doing the show while I'm gone. Well, our
Who do you
awesome team at
think, buddy?
CHGO Bears, they're not going anywhere, man. We're going to have you covered. We got all kinds of Super Bowl content still left in the bank for you guys to share all week. We're going to have Greg Braggs Jr. in here, Nicholas Moriano. Will's going to help out on Friday like he always does. We got Bears After Dark tonight, Braggs and Woot.
We got guests coming too, and for those of you who are going to miss Hoge, that's why we save some interviews, because you'll get a piece of Hoge every day. Today's piece of Hoge.
Based on the chat today, no one should miss me. Everyone hates me today.
They'll just keep going.
They will.
We love you. We missed you, even though we were with you from there, but it feels so much better right now.
It's just weird. I do feel closer to the.
Well, it's because you don't have a monitor in Vegas, so you don't see all this toxic.
Oh,
That's what it
that's
is.
There it is.
That's what it is. That's why my mental health was better last week.
Yeah.
No.
Well, until about 3 o'clock every day when then Greg started getting on my nerves. Although there was the one morning where I made the call at 7 a.m. when we were walking to the car.
Wait, what?
Remember the one morning? We were loading the minivan up, and I was just like, he's already driving me crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Was that the morning where he came in the Meatball Island shirt and he was sweaty because he had done a workout and was like, ah! Like he's
oh, that was Friday when he had to run over to Circa to cash his winnings from Monday.
I thought that was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday.
All right.
Schuster, your question, because I've seen a couple of times from different people. What do you guys think about Merrill Hodge? I've had Merrill on a show, and he's tried to explain to me how CTE is not a thing. So I'm not going to let Merrill say that whatever he thought about Caleb is real. But look, until Caleb proves that he's big time, there's no guarantees in life. So Merrill has a chance to be right.
Couple late supers as we get out
Also,
of here.
I saw a lot of people championing all the quarterback takes he's had right, and then someone else pointed out all the ones he's had wrong. So like everyone else, it's 50-50. Nobody's perfect.
Hey, man.
And he's entitled to his opinion on Caleb Williams. But I haven't heard anyone quote Merrill Hodge on a football take in years, and all of a sudden he says one negative thing about Patrick Mahomes, and half the Bears fans love this guy.
It's a great point. Since when is Merrill Hodge the expert that everyone's leaning on?
I mean, he used to be on ESPN all the time. Then he wrote a book about how CTE is not real.
And I argued that with him at about 4 Super Bowls ago, and let me tell you something. I lost that argument because that dude pulled out every single odd fact that he's committed.
He's committed. Well, he wrote a book on it. I'd hope he's committed.
Yeah. No, it was tough to argue with him.
All right, Slam $5. Biggs, mentioning Brad Biggs here, is saying the Bears will draft a quarterback and number 1 overall. Wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity for the Bears to play poker to drive up the price of the number 1? For those listening, I feel like I should point out that Slam here with his awesome super chat that we greatly appreciate. His avatar is Justin Fields sliding in the end zone as well. Guys, to answer your question, yes, there's probably going to be some posturing here and misinformation that teams put out and this and that. But
brace yourself.
I'll just say this. Based on everything we heard and the people we talked to, I sure came home thinking that the Bears are going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm still sitting there. I'm asking questions literally right before the show. Like, yeah, we talked to the Bears. Are like, but when people like Brad Biggs, who's incredibly well connected, has been covering the Bears since 19 whatever it is. You don't really put that stuff out there unless you're getting things from people that you trust.
Yeah.
So take that for whatever it's worth.
And Crystal jumping in here as always, 199. Hi guys, or hey guys, just sending love. We appreciate.
Hi, Crystal.
You're the best, Crystal. Thank you.
We need more crystals.
We do.
All right, we're out of here.
Have a great trip, Hoge.
Thanks.
Adam is
very jealous.
Well,
yes.
Let me just say this. Look, it's been as always during football season, basically a nonstop grind since the first day of training camp back in July, other than getting away for a few days during the bye week. Love this team here we have at CHGO, and Carm picking up. It's moments like this where I'm trying to have a sincere moment, and Carm picks up his phone.
I just want to tell, hey Kevin, we're still on the show. Call you right after head of content. We'll call you right back. Thank you very much.
That's our head of content calling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on Tavern Style today, so I think that's what that's about. Or he was telling you to shut up. That's what it was.
Oh, it might have been that.
Yeah, no. Keep going. Let me keep. I'm feeling the heartfelt moment. Yes.
No, I was just look. These football seasons are long, but they're a lot of fun, and I always wake up the morning after the Super Bowl sad because there's no football for 6 months, and that kills me.
I had no sad feelings this morning. I did it because it doesn't stop, man. Like this is like now the Bears are on the clock.
Well, it doesn't stop for us, and that was my favorite moment. That's why I take this vacation this week every year. We got 2 weeks between now and the combine. All right? It's like we got a small window here.
That's it.
And then there's nothing. And then it's nonstop grind until the draft. So this is like the unofficial end of the football calendar because now we start over. It is now the 2024 season. The Bears are on the clock. We're going to crush it here at CHGO. You're going to crush it this week while I'm gone.
Damn straight.
With Greg and Nick and Will and everybody else and Lawrence. And
we're going to have an amazing week, and we're going to have an amazing year. And I woke up this morning for real and said that will conclude last year. How can I be that much better in the 2024 football season to lead, to support, to
get us to New Orleans,
to humor, to entertain, to inform?
And in all seriousness, though, all of you in the chat, all of you watching, listening, couldn't do it without you. So even the ones with the...
They would have booted us out a long time ago if somebody didn't like the show.
Even the ones that hate us throughout the show, but still watch us every day. We greatly appreciate you.
Now
I mean that.
Bozo shows up. That's fine. Brags. Don't come in then, buddy.
Bragg says, I refuse to work with Carl this week.
He couldn't be more looking forward to working with me. He's so excited.
All right. I'll see you in, I don't know, 10 days, whatever it is. I'll be back before the combine. Then we'll crush it in Indy. And I have a feeling some big things are in the works here in the next few weeks. So hopefully none of those big things happen while I'm gone. Thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. Tomorrow at noon, these guys are right back here without me. It's going to be...
Quit talking about you being gone. It's not good for the show.
I will be right back here at noon tomorrow in spirit.
Thank you.
See you guys.
We all silly like the mayor.